Welcome to my channel Canada 1-cent coins, the channel where history, rarity, and hidden value come together in the most unexpected way. The Canadian 1-cent coin may look simple, but behind every penny is a story of Canada's past, its economy, and the everyday lives of millions of people. From dusty circulated coins to rare error pieces, we explore 5 unique Canadian pennies. In every video on this channel, you will discover the history and background of Canadian 1-cent coins, close-up details of dusty, extra fine, and rare condition coins, unique marks, spots, and errors collectors look for, the latest market value in dollars, and why some ordinary pennies become collector treasures. From the late 1800s to the final penny in 2012, the Canadian 1-cent coin played a huge role in daily life. Though pennies are no longer used in transactions, they are now preserved as collectibles, reminders of a time when even 1 cent mattered. Some pennies are worth only face value, but others can surprise you. Condition, year, minting quality, and unique marks can turn a simple penny into something special. On this channel, we break down which coins have value and why. The 2011 Canadian 1-cent coin, exploring its history, why collectors love it, and how much it's worth today in extra fine condition. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned collector, this coin has a story you don't want to miss. The 2011 Canadian penny is part of a long tradition of Canadian 1-cent coins, which were first minted in 1858. This coin is notable for its classic design and for being part of the final years of penny production, as the Royal Canadian Mint officially stopped distributing pennies in 2013. Key specifications. Year, 2011. Denomination, 1 cent. Composition, copper-plated zinc. Diameter, 19.05 millimeters. Weight, 2.35 g. Edge, plain. Designer, obverse, Queen Elizabeth II, portrait by Susanna Blunt. Reverse, maple leaf design by G.E. Kruger Gray. Royal Canadian Mint. This coin is a small piece of Canadian history, representing both tradition and the last era of everyday pennies in circulation. The 1-cent coin has a long story in Canada. For over 150 years, the penny was used for everyday transactions. By 2011, inflation had made the penny less practical for commerce, yet it remained a beloved symbol of Canada's monetary history. On the obverse, we have Queen Elizabeth II's portrait, symbolizing Canada's ties to the monarchy. On the reverse, the iconic maple leaf represents Canadian identity and unity. This design has been in use for decades, making the coin instantly recognizable. After 2011, the penny circulation declined sharply, and by 2013, the Royal Canadian Mint ceased production for circulation. Though collectors can still acquire these coins from coin dealers or in high-grade sets. In terms of rarity, the 2011 penny is not extremely rare, with millions minted by the Royal Canadian Mint. However, coins in extra fine condition are scarcer than circulated coins, as most pennies are heavily worn from pocket circulation. Extra fine condition means sharp details on the Queen's portrait, clear, defined maple leaf veins, minimal scratches, nicks, or wear. Collectors prize these coins because they are often the best preserved examples of a coin nearing the end of its era. Numista. So, how much is a 2011 Canadian 1-cent coin worth today in circulated condition? Most sell for around face value, $0 Canadian dollars and 1 cent, but extra fine examples can fetch a bit more for collectors. Approximate values. Circulated, $0 US dollars and 1 cent. Fine, 2 to 3 cents USD. Extra fine, 5 to 15 cents USD. Uncirculated/MS, 20 to 50 cents USD. While these numbers may seem modest, they reflect the coin's collector appeal rather than its purchasing power. The rarity and high condition make XF and uncirculated coins desirable to Canadian penny collectors worldwide. The 2011 penny is part of a historic era, the final years of Canadian pennies in circulation. Collecting these coins allows enthusiasts to preserve a piece of Canadian monetary history, complete a modern Canadian penny set, showcase coins in high grade that are increasingly rare as years go by. Extra fine condition coins are especially prized because most pennies were heavily used, making well-preserved examples harder to find. If you're interested in collecting 2011 pennies, look for extra fine or uncirculated coins for value and display appeal. Avoid harsh cleaning, it reduces collector value. Compare recent sales on marketplaces like eBay or coin catalogs. Consider buying coin rolls or sets from reputable dealers to get high-grade examples. Collecting modern pennies can be fun and educational, and the 2011 coin is one of the last to represent Canada's long tradition of 1-cent coins. The 2011 Canadian 1-cent coin may be small, but it's packed with history in extra-fine condition. It's a rare survivor of the final penny era and a must-have for collectors of modern Canadian coins. Next coin. The 2007 Canadian 1-cent coin, a small coin with a big history. From everyday change to a collector's treasure, this coin in extra-fine condition has become a sought-after piece for collectors around the world. Let's dive into its history, rarity, and market value today. The 2007 Canadian penny is part of Canada's long tradition of 1-cent coins, which date back to 1858. By 2007, the penny was nearing the end of its life in circulation, as Canada would stop distributing pennies just a few years later in 2013. Key specifications. Year, 2007. Denomination, 1 cent. Composition, copper-plated zinc. Diameter, 19.05 millimeters. Weight, 2.35 g. Edge, plain. Obverse design, Queen Elizabeth II portrait by Susanna Blunt. Reverse design, maple leaf by G.E. Kruger Gray. Royal Canadian Mint. This small coin was used for everyday transactions, from candy bars to bus fares, but today, collectors prize the well-preserved coins that escaped heavy circulation. The penny has been a staple of Canadian life for over a century. By 2007, inflation had made the penny less practical for daily commerce, but it remained a symbol of Canadian identity. On the obverse, Queen Elizabeth II's portrait represents Canada's ties to the monarchy. On the reverse, the iconic maple leaf celebrates the nation's identity and heritage. These designs had been used for decades, making the coin instantly recognizable. With the 2013 removal of pennies from circulation, the 2007 penny became part of the final generation of coins, giving it historical significance for collectors. Numista. In terms of rarity, the 2007 Canadian penny was mass-produced, so circulated coins are very common. However, coins in extra-fine condition are relatively scarce because most pennies experienced heavy circulation in wallets, cash registers, and pockets. Extra-fine condition means clear, detailed portrait of the Queen. Well-defined veins on the maple leaf. Minimal scratches or wear. Collectors value these XF coins because they represent the best-preserved examples of a coin from the final years of the Canadian penny. What is a 2007 Canadian 1-cent coin worth today? While circulated coins are essentially face value, extra-fine examples can fetch a bit more for collectors. Circulated, $0.01 USD. Fine, $0.02, $0.03 USD. Extra fine, XF, $0.05, $0.15 USD. Uncirculated/MS, $0.20, $0.50. While modest, these values reflect collector interest rather than buying power. XF and uncirculated coins are especially desirable as they are scarcer than circulated pennies from 2007. The 2007 penny is part of the final era of Canadian pennies. Collectors seek them because they represent the end of a long tradition. XF coins are relatively scarce. They help complete modern penny collections. Even though the coin is small, its historical context and condition make it a valuable piece for collectors if you're starting a collection or selling your 2007 pennies. Look for coins in extra fine or uncirculated condition. Avoid harsh cleaning, it reduces collector value. Compare actual sales on eBay or coin catalogs. Consider buying rolls or sets from reputable dealers to acquire high-grade examples. Collecting modern pennies is both fun and educational, and the 2007 coin is a perfect candidate for this purpose. The 2007 Canadian 1-cent coin may be tiny, but it's packed with history in extra fine condition. It's a rare survivor of the final penny era and a must-have for modern Canadian coin collectors. Next coin. The 2006 Canadian 1-cent coin, in dusty, circulated condition. While it might not shine like an uncirculated coin, it carries history, nostalgia, and collector interest. Let's dive into its story and see what it's worth in today's market. The 2006 Canadian penny is part of a long-running series of 1-cent coins that began in 1858. By 2006, these coins were still circulating widely, just a few years before the Royal Canadian Mint stopped distributing pennies in 2013. Key specifications. Year, 2006. Denomination, 1 cent. Composition, copper-plated zinc. Diameter, 19.05 millimeters. Weight, 2.35 g. Edge, plain. Obverse design, Queen Elizabeth II by Susanna Blunt. Reverse design, Maple Leaf by G.E. Kruger Gray. Royal Canadian Mint. Even in dusty condition, these coins are fascinating for collectors because they survived years of circulation and tell a story about everyday Canadian life. The penny has been a staple of Canadian currency for over a century. In 2006, the penny was still widely used in daily transactions, from buying snacks to paying bus fares. On the obverse, we see Queen Elizabeth II, symbolizing Canada's ties to the monarchy. On the reverse, the iconic maple leaf stands for Canadian identity and heritage. While this coin might now look dusty and worn, it represents a pre-Euro-style era of everyday Canadian commerce, a coin you might have found in your pocket change just 15 years ago. Millions of 2006 pennies were minted, so the coin is not rare in absolute terms. However, coins in dusty but collectible condition are interesting because they are a snapshot of circulation history. Dusty coins often have accumulated patina or surface dust, slight wear on the Queen's portrait, worn maple leaf details, minor scratches or nicks. While dusty coins are common, collectors often appreciate them for completing circulated coin sets, showing the true life of a coin in circulation. What is a 2006 Canadian 1 cent coin worth in today's market, especially in dusty condition? Circulated/dusty, $0.01, $0.02 USD. Fine, $0.02, $0.03 USD. Very fine, $0.03, $0.05 USD. Extra fine/uncirculated, 5 to 50 cents USD. Numista. So while dusty coins are generally close to face value, they still hold collector interest, especially when completing a set or showing a coin in its natural, circulated statin. Dusty coins may not be shiny, but they have character and history. Collectors enjoy them because they represent the real-world circulation history of coins. They help complete sets of pennies by year. They show natural aging and patina, which can be appealing. Even in dusty condition, a 2006 penny is a reminder of the last generation of Canadian pennies in everyday use. If you're interested in collecting 2006 pennies, don't clean the coin harshly. Natural dust and patina add charm. Look for coins with clear details, even in circulation. Compare actual sales prices on eBay or collector sites. Consider purchasing rolls or circulated sets to find interesting examples. Even dusty coins can be educational, showing how coins were used in real life before being saved or discarded. The 2006 Canadian 1 cent coin in dusty condition may not be worth a fortune, but it's a piece of Canadian history, a coin that tells a story of everyday life. Collectors value it for its authenticity, its place in circulation, and next coin. The 1999 Canadian 1 cent coin, a coin in dusty, circulated condition. While it may lack shine, it carries history, nostalgia, and collector interest. Let's uncover its story, rarity, and market value today. The 1999 Canadian penny is part of a long-standing tradition of 1 cent coins, first minted in 1858. By 1999, these coins were still common in circulation, but they were part of the final generation of pennies before the Royal Canadian Mint ceased distribution in 2013. Key specifications. Year, 1999. Denomination, 1 cent. Composition, copper-plated zinc. Diameter, 19.05 millimeters. Weight, 2.35 g. Edge, plain. Obverse design, Queen Elizabeth II by Susanna Blunt. Reverse design, Maple Leaf by G.E. Kruger Gray. Royal Canadian Mint. Even in dusty, circulated condition, this coin represents a piece of Canadian monetary history. The penny has been a staple of Canadian life for over 140 years. In 1999, Canadians still relied on pennies for everyday transactions, from buying a coffee to tipping for small purchases. On the obverse, we see Queen Elizabeth II, representing Canada's ties to the monarchy. On the reverse, the maple leaf symbolizes Canada's national identity. By this time, discussions about eliminating the penny were already underway due to its declining usefulness in daily transactions. Yet, Coins from this era are highly collectible today because they were part of the final decades of penny circulation. The 1999 penny was mass-produced, so it's not rare in terms of total numbers. However, coins in dusty, circulated condition are interesting to collectors because they tell a story about real-world usage. Dusty coins often have surface wear and accumulated dirt, slight fading on the Queen's portrait, worn or dull maple leaf details, small scratches or nicks. Collectors appreciate dusty coins for their authenticity and historical charm, especially when completing circulated penny sets. What is a 1999 Canadian 1-cent coin worth today, especially in dusty, circulated condition? Circulated/dusty, $0.01, $0.02 USD. Fine, $0.02, $0.03 USD. Very fine, $0.03, $0.05 USD. Extra fine/uncirculated, $0.05, $0.50 USD. Numista. While dusty coins are close to face value, they remain collectible for completing sets and representing coins that were actually used in daily life. Dusty coins may not sparkle, but they have character and story. Collectors value them because they reflect real circulation history. They help complete year-by-year penny sets. They show the natural wear of coins, which adds authenticity. Even dusty coins like this 1999 penny are important for preserving Canada's numismatic history. If you're interested in collecting 1999 pennies, don't clean the coin aggressively. Natural dust and patina are desirable. Look for coins with legible details on the Queen and maple leaf. Check recent sales on eBay or coin marketplaces to understand current value. Consider purchasing penny rolls or circulated sets to find coins in different conditions. Dusty coins may be inexpensive, but they're educational and make for an authentic collection. The 1999 Canadian 1-cent coin in dusty condition may not be worth a fortune, but it's a small piece of Canadian history. Its value comes from its story, its circulation, and its role in the final era of Canadian pennies. Next coin. The 1997 Canadian 1-cent coin, in dusty condition with a black on its front face. This small coin may look ordinary, but collectors find it fascinating due to its unique marks, circulation history, and rarity. Let's explore its story and see what it's worth in today's market. The 1997 Canadian penny is part of a long-standing series that began in 1858. By 1997, these coins were still widely used in daily transactions, but pennies were becoming less practical due to inflation and rising production costs. Key specifications. Year: 1997. Denomination: 1 cent. Composition: copper-plated zinc. Diameter: 19.05 millimeters. Weight: 2.35 g. Edge: plain. Obverse design: Queen Elizabeth II by Susanna Blunt. Reverse design: maple leaf by G.E. Kruger-Gray. Royal Canadian Mint. This coin may look ordinary, but the dust, wear, and black on the front make it a unique find for collectors. The penny has been a staple of Canadian life for over 140 years. In 1997, Canadians still used pennies daily for small purchases like candy, newspapers, or transit fares. On the obverse, we see Queen Elizabeth II, representing Canada's connection to the monarchy. On the reverse, the maple leaf stands for national identity. By this period, discussions about eliminating the penny were underway, but coins from this era are historically significant because they represent the final decades of the Canadian penny. Even dusty coins with black spots tell the story of circulation, and most 1997 pennies were mass-produced, so they're not rare in total numbers. However, coins in dusty condition with unique features, like a black dot on the obverse, are collector curiosities. A black dot could result from minting irregularities, environmental effects while in circulation, oxidation or small debris embedded on the surface. While not classified as a major error, coins with these marks attract collectors because they are unusual, especially when combined with natural dust and wear. What is a 1997 Canadian penny worth today, particularly in dusty condition with a black? Approximate values. Circulated/dusty, $0.01, $0.02 USD. Fine, $0.02, $0.03 USD. Very fine, $0.03, $0.05 USD. Extra fine/uncirculated, $0.05, $0.50 USD. Numista. The black dot may make it slightly more interesting to a collector, but generally, its value is modest unless the coin is in higher grade or has more prominent error characteristics. Even though this coin is dusty and has a small mark, it can still be valuable to collectors because it tells a story of real circulation. Unique marks like a black make it a curiosity coin. It can help complete year-by-year penny sets. Collectors often enjoy these coins for their authenticity and uniqueness, even if they are not high grade. If you're interested in collecting 1997 pennies with marks, don't clean aggressively. Dust and minor spots add character. Examine details on the queen and maple leaf. Look for other unusual marks or circulation patterns. Compare prices on marketplaces like eBay or coin forums. Even dusty coins with minor black dots can be educational and a fun addition to a collection. The 1997 Canadian 1-cent coin in dusty condition with a black may not be extremely valuable in dollars, but it's a piece of Canadian history. Its charm comes from its circulation story, its age, and its unusual mark. A coin with character that tells the tale of everyday life in 1990s Canada. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and comment below with your favorite Canadian coin, or tell us which coin we should explore next.